Hey there, guys. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt Wyatt, and today I'm going to review the new Pixar film that I've been really looking forward to for a while, and it's Toy Story 5. We got the returning characters like Buzz and Woody, Jessie, and the rest of the original game that we've grown to over the years, even the new addition that we have grown to in the sequels. And yeah, when Disney and Pixar announced that they were going to do more upcoming Disney sequels for mostly animation, most people complain like, why are they doing another Toy Story movie? Why are they doing another sequels? It's another cash grab, blah blah blah. They've been saying that for a long time, ever since they've done sequels to Toy Story every several years or so, and most of them have been coming out nothing but banger after banger after banger. Now, most people would say that Toy Story 4 is the weakest of the franchise, but it's still not hated. It's still well received. I'm, for one, rewatched all four of the Toy Story movies, especially Toy Story 4, because I haven't watched Toy Story 4 since I watched it in the theaters that it came out, and I had the 4K Blu-ray for a while, and I didn't use it at the time until very recent, and I enjoyed it a lot more the second time I watched Toy Story 4. It's a damn good film. And look, I've grown up with the Toy Story movies. I was 3 years old when it came out for the first film, and I only watched it on the VHS tape. I didn't watch it in the theaters when it came out at that time, but I did want to go see it when they put it back in the theaters for the 30th anniversary a year ago, and I loved it. I loved all four of these movies. I still think that the first three were one of the greatest trilogies of all time because they closed off the culmination of Andy's story in the first three movies. The third film really tied my heartstrings and it made me all emotional, and it was so relatable because Andy is going off to college, and now that he can't play with toys anymore, he's practically an adult, and he's given his toys away to another owner, to a little kid named Bonnie, which we continued on in 4, and now we're continuing to in Toy Story 5. Now, going into Toy Story 5, you have Buzz, Woody, and Jessie. In the rest of the game, come face to face with a smart tablet device named Lilypad, a new character that is a smart tablet device that Bonnie is going to be using because she wants to be able to make friends and join the whole game. And now the toys are becoming the replacement. Will playtime ever be the same? After coming out of the theater, I'm going to say that Toy Story 5, Pixar has nailed it again. And I know some people are a little bit worried that this movie was going to come out and it's going to be another cash grab, but for some reason, the writers team and the director that have come up with some interesting idea of why we should make another Toy Story movie. They never really try to force it to make the movie for the sake of it, just for the cash grab. They're not like Illumination Studio or DreamWorks that they'd have to force making sequels every other year. No, they take their time to try to come up with some new idea and give them a reason why they should do another one. And for this idea from a smart tablet device in this movie is definitely one of the most relatable and very relevant in today's world, because the world that we live in now, we have nothing but smartphones over here, and we have like touchpads. We have like iPads and smart tablet devices, and we have Nintendo Switch 2 that most kids are now playing on their Switch, on their portable devices everywhere they go. And most kids don't do a lot of outdoor activities as much. Maybe there are still some kids out there that still do their outdoor activities, and the parents have their kids being conditioned to focus more on their outdoor activities rather than staying glued to their screens 24/7. Because let's face it, we live in a time where we're more glued to our screens now than we ever were before, and we're too consumed and we're very addicted to it, and it's hard to break break the cycle of it. But in this movie, I really thought it was an amazing film. It's definitely in my top 3 favorite movies of the year. I'm glad to see Woody and Buzz reunited again. That was voiced by Tom Hanks and Tim Allen and the rest of the original gang. I think they served a great narrative purpose, but they are not the main focus of the story. The main focus of the story was the character Jessie, the cowgirl, the doll that you meet up in Toy Story 2 when we first introduced her character, and she became one of the most beloved characters of the franchise. She is the more focus of the film. This is Jessie's movie, and they definitely were able to find a way to harken back to Toy Story 2 without giving away the context. And if you've seen Toy Story 2, you'll know what I'm talking about, but they did it so well that they were able to give her more things to do and give her a purpose, because right now she feels useless, and now she's going to do whatever it takes to make sure that what's best for Bonnie. She doesn't want that lily pad to take over her life and feel peer pressured, because Bonnie, the character, is the only one that actually plays toys, and the rest of the kids in the neighborhood are using their tablet devices to communicate and bond. That's their new norm. And when you see Bonnie just feeling a little devastated that no one wants to be friends with her, I felt it. I felt her little pain inside that she feels like that she has to be peer pressure because when you're a little kid now, when you're living in today's world, you're a little kid that now is going to be peer pressure into doing what other kids are doing. Kind of like when now if they're using their smart tablet device, I should get one because everybody else is getting one. Because now that most kids don't play with action figures or dolls anymore. Because back in my day, and I know that sounds a bit of a cliche, back in the old days, yeah, back in my generation, we didn't have social media. We didn't have smartphones or tablet devices or any other. You either have a Game Boy devices or either do outdoor activities, and you have action figures that place toys and use your imagination. Those were my generation back in the day because we were not consumed at that time. Now as an adult, now we most adults that I know, even my brothers, they collect action figures like Hot Toys, for instance, and they leave it in their shelf or leave it on the display. And most film nerds or nerds in general who are YouTube content creators, they all use their Hot Toys as their display in the background, and they're only used for display and not use it to play with. But it's just something that we get attached to because of nostalgia, and that's just us. But for going back to Toy Story 5, I think that the writing and the directing is well executed. I even love the new character, Smarty Pants, voiced by Conan O'Brien. I thought he was so good. There's a lots of humor that some of them were adult humor, but it was used well without beating you over the head with the adult humor. I thought some of the new characters that play a big part of Jessie's story, I thought they were funny and they were such a great addition. I felt so attached to the characters. And I think that the writers were able to do a good job of giving Jessie the closure that she needed, and they did it so well without giving away the context. And with Lilypad, that's voiced by Greta Lee, I thought Lilypad was a great character. She comes off of a twirly mustache obvious villain in the beginning when you first meet her, but then once you get to know her character, she does add gravitas. She's not a twirly mustache obvious villain that's just saying, no, like, no, I'm evil technology and I'm going to take over everything, blah, blah, blah. No, she's just doing what she thinks it's best for Bonnie to make friends. She thinks that using this tablet devices and to communicate with your friends and bond with them is the way to do so, rather than using toys, because now toys are now obsolete. And the best line of the whole movie that I loved, and this was in the trailer, that Woody said, "Toys are for play. Tech is for everything." And I thought, like, wow, that hit hard. That was so deep. Because Woody's purpose now, after his story closed off in Toy Story 4, and then he was away from the game and he's with Bo, he's been going off searching for lost toys that kids have gotten rid of over the years, and that's been his purpose, is just to find the lost toys that have been completely forgotten. And I thought that they've used Woody enough to have him push the Jesse's character forward without having Woody and Buzz being sidelined. There is a side plot of the movie without giving away the context. There was a beginning of the movie of the shipping container crash wreck on the island, and you have a bunch of a group of Buzz Lightyears, and it almost felt like you're watching a Pixar short movie, and I was always wondering, like, how does this factor in the main plot of the movie? But then when you get to the third act, it starts to make more sense, and there's a WTF moment that puts a smile on my face without giving away the context. You'll know when you see the movie, you're gonna have to see it for yourself because that was so good. They definitely did a great job of balancing the humor, the drama, the emotion, and they were able to tie your heartstrings, and I felt so warmth. And I felt so much joy. I love this movie. This is definitely in my top 3 favorite movies of the year. Is it gonna be the best Toy Story movie of all time? No. But I think it's better than Toy Story 4. I still think that Toy Story 4 is my least favorite, but it's still a great Toy Story movie. And because Toy Story 4 was way more of closing off Woody's arc and with Bo and giving him the closure. And in Toy Story 5, Jessie's got more closure and they were able to have her the main focus, and they did a great job of doing so. And look, there's so many stuff that I want to talk about, but I don't want to spoil it too much. This is a movie that you should definitely rush out to see in theaters if you love the Toy Story franchise. Even when you're on the fence and you're like, why they're doing another sequel, don't be alarmed. I think if you love this franchise, you're definitely gonna love Toy Story 5. Even if you didn't love Toy Story 4 as much, you're definitely gonna like this movie more than the 4th one. It definitely had a better message, and it was definitely more impactful when you get to the ending, and they never try to shove the message down your throat that technology and smart tablets are evil, and you should put that away. They never shoved it down your throat with the message. They found a way to resolve the problems and how to balance of having technologies being used for something good, that it could be put into good use without having to be glued into it 24/7 and being so addicted to it. But anyway, I'm going to give this movie a 9.5 out of 10. My only negative is that I wish some of the gang that got a little bit more screen time and a little bit more development. But you know what? It's a Toy Story movie. It's an ensemble movie. You only got so much to do to give them each of their own screen time. But I still think that Tim Allen and Tom Hanks, who played Woody and Buzz, definitely served a purpose, even though they weren't the main focus, but they definitely were in it enough without sidelining the characters. Because let's face it, you can't have a Toy Story franchise without Woody and Buzz. Woody and Buzz are the heart and soul of the franchise. They have been with that since the very beginning of the first movie, and they're the most valuable IPs for Disney and Pixar. And it still is to this day. I have no doubt that this movie is gonna make a buttload of money, and it's definitely gonna be in the top 3 highest grossing movies of the year, because 'cause they're gonna take their whole families and kids to go out and see Toy Story 5. It's gonna be a big competition, especially when Supergirl is gonna be coming out the next, weekend, and yeah, that's gonna be a tough competition to compete. But anyway, that's my thoughts on Toy Story 5. What did you guys think of this movie? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Did it exceed your expectations, or did it not, and and you were disappointed by it? But let me know. And if you like this review, make sure you hit the like button, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so you know when my videos are up. And in case you don't know, in case you're new to the channel, I have a second YouTube channel called Small Zero where I co-host alongside with Ryan Cam and 3D Jake. It's a collaborative YouTube channel where we cover everything in the world that goes around in movies, TV shows, trailers, even some video games, and so on and so forth. We've been having a lot of guests on our show, like mostly every week, because we do the live stream at once a week, either on Wednesday or Fridays, depending on the schedule. And yeah, we do start a little bit late, and we don't always start on time, but I can't control everybody's schedule. That is just what it is. And I do edit the clips of each of the segments that we cover in the live streams. Most of them are edited. And if you don't want to watch the entire live stream that is pre-recorded, you can definitely watch some of the clips and some of the edits that I put together. And I actually put the timestamps on the live stream, so in case if you want to skip the other segments and go into the next one, you can click on in the description down below. Definitely go over the Small Zero channel and definitely subscribe and give us support. I would really appreciate it. If you want to follow my social media platforms, I'm active on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Click the link tree in the description down below as well. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, great evening, wherever you're from, and stay tuned for more of my content.